Welcome to 805 Focus. I'm Dr. Cynder Sinclair with Nonprofit Connect, and we will be bringing you the latest on your favorite nonprofits, so get ready to be inspired. Our special guest today is Susan Keller, and Susan is the founder and artistic director of Santa Barbara Revels. Welcome, Susan.
Thank you so much, Cynder. I realized before we taped this today that I've known you for quite a while and in many different contexts. So being here with you today is yet another context. It's really great to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you for inviting me.
We're going to have fun. I love going to your performances.
Yes, I know. I see you there, and it's really great that you know exactly what we're talking about today.
Yes, and you know what? It's always a celebration.
Totally.
It seems to me.
I think I shared with you that Revels is one of 9 national Revels companies. The original was founded in Cambridge, Massachusetts over 50 years ago, and at 16 years old, Revels Santa Barbara Revels is the newest of the companies. But the whole point of Revels is to celebrate seasonal change. And I'm the one that joined, I coined the term join us and be joyous, because I think that's exactly what celebration should be, all about creating joy. One of the other Revels companies talks about flinging joy, and I like that, the idea of flinging joy everywhere you go. So it's a way to bring the community together with a variety of events and activities that we present, and it's a way of creating celebration, creating joy, and creating bridges among community members, both between the people who were performing and the people who were in the audience. Because as you know, all Revels performances involve audience participation. I've seen you do this, so I know you get up and sing with us and dance with us, and that's the whole point of it. I say to everyone, Revels is the safest place to sing outside the shower, so we get everybody to join in, which is great.
Oh, that's great. And people love it. I mean, the whole audience gets into it.
It's wonderful. I was exposed to Revels, maybe not the white word, but introduced to Revels by a dear friend that I had performed with, who was doing this show up in Oakland. At the closest California Revels is in Oakland. And she said she was doing a mother-daughter event activity with her daughter, but she thought I might be interested because she thought it might be right for Santa Barbara. So I went up to see a show in Oakland, and I sat next to this very proper looking woman wearing pearls. And in the intermission, when everybody got up, or just before intermission, when they invited us to get up and dance, she just grabbed my hand and insisted that I get up and dance with her. And the fact of this kind of participation and this buy-in to the notion of Revels was, I thought immediately, well, first of all, it's a very diverse company because there are volunteer chorus members. It's very appealing to all ages because I see people in the audience from 3 to 83. It's the audience participation element is one that especially appealed to me because nothing else offers that. Not here in Santa Barbara for sure, and I think many places this is just something that's lacking. So it means a reason for people to actually leave their home screens and come to live events or live performances because we make them get involved.
So it was at that point that you said, hey, I like this, I'm going to bring this to Santa Barbara? Or, what was it?
Well, I have a background myself as an actor, a singer, and a producer. And I had been on the board of directors of the Libero Theater and had actually produced a couple of shows at the Libero. And at that time, I thought there was a notable lack of diverse programming around the holidays, around the Christmas, New Year holiday. I think there were only a couple of performances of the Nutcracker at that time, and now there is another wide variety of things, but I thought that Revels celebration of the winter solstice was a wonderful place to begin, since we have a tradition of celebrating summer solstice. But Revels also celebrates, we have a pub sing in March to celebrate the spring equinox. We do a free May Day performance to celebrate May Day. We do a video online thing at the time of summer solstice, and at the time of fall equinox, we do a concert to celebrate the changing seasons. And then we do the Revels in December to celebrate winter solstice. So it's our year-round activities that keeps things happening in the community. And We started out with just a production of the Revels at Christmas or winter solstice time, and now we have gradually added those other events, and we do that year round.
So you actually go out into the community. When you say pub sing, do you go to a pub?
Yes, we go to. Traditionally, we have gone to Dargan's Irish Pub and Restaurant, and we get people to come in, and we provide songbooks and a ticket to buy a beer or a glass of wine or a soft drink, and we have a song leader and an accompanist, and we get people to sing along with us, everything from folk songs to rounds, and we also invite people to come up and lead a song themselves in case they have a particular favorite. So people do that. It's lots of fun. And then May Day we do in an outdoor location. We have done it in Paseo Nuevo. We have done it in the farmer's market. We may be doing it in Ellings Park the next time, but we have a maypole with ribbons attached, so we teach people May Day songs and dances, and then they weave ribbons around the maypole, and we have sing-along, etc. And that's lots of fun, and we really encourage whole families. We encourage whole families to come to all of our events. And then with Equinox, we have done it in various locations around town. We find that at that time of year, an outdoor location is lovely. So we recently did it in Ellings Park, and I hope we'll continue there. Mm-hmm. And then our big production, our big ticketed production, is at the Libero Theater.
Okay.
It's always the third weekend of December every year. In 2022, we did a Scottish celebration of the winter solstice. In 2021, it was an early California celebration, and we told the story of Richard Henry Dana coming to California and being a guest at the wedding of Anita de la Guerra, daughter of the Comandante of the Presidio. In 2023, we're doing I'm struggling a little bit because we've changed the title. It's The Revels, a winter solstice celebration, Tales from Ellis Island. Oh. And because immigrants are stranded overnight on Christmas Eve at Ellis Island, and their doctor is a Mexican doctor, immigrant from Mexico, we have Irish, German, and Russian immigrants. So every year we feature the traditional songs and stories of the year or the era or the country we're dealing with. So it's going to be Irish, Mexican, and Jewish traditions with dances and songs and audience participation.
Wow,
and
that's quite the combination.
Right. So every year we choose a different theme. We choose to go to a different country, a different period of time. Mm-hmm. We frequently, Cambridge writes an original show every year, and we have either adapted those shows or a few of the other Revels companies have done original shows. Our early California show was an original show that we did, that Aaron Graffi and I wrote. Mm-hmm. So we just try to find something that we really feel will be appealing to Santa Barbara audiences.
And a fine job you do.
Well, thank you.
You know, it's so fascinating to me to watch you, first of all, spreading joy everywhere through this very unusual way. And when I think about your background, being an actress, I mean, you still are, I'm sure, and an attorney.
I just have to say, I always say that old actresses never die. They just lose their parts. Terrible, corny thing.
That's a good one.
Yes, but it was great because when I found Revels, it really took all of my skills. It took my background as a singer and an actor and all my legal knowledge to pull things together. We are a nonprofit. Mm-hmm. So if you go on our website, www.santabarbararevels.org, there is a little donate button, and we are a nonprofit and would be very grateful for any donations. And so I set up the nonprofit. I have negotiated contracts with the various vendors we work with, the various locations. We have a chorus rehearsal at different locations. We have dance rehearsals and staging rehearsals. So we really do operate throughout Santa Barbara. And we bring in participants in our chorus, volunteers from our chorus, from a fairly wide range. We have people who commute from Ojai and Santa Maria in order to be in our chorus, which is fabulous. So we feel we have a draw that attracts people from all over Santa Barbara County and beyond.
And so if someone is interested in being a volunteer, they can find that information out on the
Yes,
website.
Yes, of course. Yes, of
And then
course.
get over there to that donate button.
Yes, they can sign up for our newsletter. We send out e-blasts
Oh,
on a regular basis, and they can certainly let us know that they wish to volunteer. And then we have auditions for our winter show in August usually. And so we encourage anyone who enjoys singing. You don't have to read music. You don't have to be a professional musician. We give you all the music. We provide the music, the costumes, the makeup if you need it, the stage training. And we also we have an age range from 4th graders. We have a children's chorus, 4th grade through 6th grade, a teen chorus, 7th grade through 9th grade, and then we have an adult chorus. So up on the stage you see represented family groups of all ages. So you really see it is very much of and by the community.
Wow. And so, but you also pay your actors.
When we bring in people for specific roles, yes, as a member of Actors Equity Association, I feel strongly that we should pay our professional actors,
yes.
and we also pay our professional musicians because we are very committed to follow it. And we pay at the Libero. There's a very fine team of stagehands who are all professionals, so we pay them union rates. So I'm just saying that as much as we are a volunteer organization and depend on volunteer help and donations from individuals, we also have to do a lot of fundraising to keep our operation going annually.
Yeah, this is amazing. And I know for a long time you really acted as the executive director, and now you've just recently
hired some personnel. We finally got to the point where I have help. It's a long learning curve to get. I realized in the process of teaching other people that there were so many things, so many hats I was wearing, and I keep saying, help take over some of these hats. I can't do this all anymore. And so we have a really great group of people working with us now.
Well, they're lucky. You're lucky you've got so much energy doing all that.
Well, I'm speaking to the Energizer Bunny herself, yes. Thankfully, we both do have a lot of energy because it means just a much bigger and more fulfilling life, I think.
Yes. So tell me, what are you most proud of when you think about Revels, when you think about what all you've accomplished?
This happened the first year of Revels, and it really has kept me going. I was very committed to offering the Revels opportunity to youngsters who were in Title I schools who didn't have the music programs, the music opportunities. So I went specifically to recruit kids. And there was a Latinx father after the first show who said to me with tears in his eyes, he said, "You've changed my daughter's life."
Oh.
And when you think that you can have that kind of impact on young people, and the experience of the youngsters being on stage with the adults and with all of these volunteer performers working with professionals, it just feeds into each other and inspires everyone. And I feel really that that's an opportunity that is not available elsewhere, and I'm very proud to have brought it to Santa Barbara.
Wow. And so you're removing barriers that are typically there, either in reality or in somebody's mind, age, ethnicity, on and on.
Trying to, that's what Revels is all about, really. Revels is very community-based, although our productions are of professional quality. We are very embracing of the community, both the people in the audience and the people on stage.
Gosh. And so as you look toward the future, what are you excited about?
I just think that once I get the help to do the day-to-day work, that I will continue with Revels as artistic director, because it's allowed me to have a vision and set some standards for and bring people into the Revels fold. There's a very set group of Revels traditions that we incorporate into each performance, and some Revels lore and history, and I would like to remain the kind of resource for that. But I would really like to see the company continue and prosper without me doing much more than just being the guiding light, let's say.
And a cheerleader. You're very good at that. Gosh, and so it's a national organization.
Yes, the 9 Revels companies. There's one in Cambridge, Massachusetts. That's the first. The second was in Hanover, New Hampshire. A very large company in Washington, D.C., a company in Houston, Texas, Boulder, Colorado, Tacoma, Washington, just south of Seattle, Puget Sound Revels, Portland Revels, Oakland Revels, who managed to get the name California Revels because they preceded us, and then Santa Barbara Revels. So we get together in February of every year and have a conference of all the Revels companies, and we trade ideas, we come up with plans for the future, we look at each other's shows and get inspiration, and we borrow good ideas from them.
Yeah.
And it's great because there's a real support from the national organization, and it means that people come to see our show because they've seen Revel shows in other cities, other states, so that makes it really special.
Wow. And so, I don't know, do these other Revel organizations spread as much joy as Santa Barbara's?
Well, I think they make every effort. Yeah, some of them are, I mean, several of the companies are multi-million-dollar operations. The one in Cambridge and the one in Washington, D.C. certainly is. And then others are more middle-sized, and we're still kind of on the lower end economically, financially. But I just think that it's great to have the viability and the connection among us all.
Yeah, and you fill that bucket with celebration.
And absolutely, that's the word, the big C word.
Yeah. And so I'm sure you depend a lot on financial donations, tax-deductible financial donations.
Individuals, we make about 40% of our income from ticket sales, specifically at the Libero.
That's good.
And then about 30% from individual donations. And then we rely on grant. We get money from the city of Santa Barbara through their Events and Festivals Committee. We get private foundation grants. So we've been very fortunate to get some generous private foundation grants from for example, the Tobes Fund for the Performing Arts, the Ann Jackson Family Foundation, the Hutton Parker Foundation. So we've been really well supported by the city of Santa Barbara and by various foundations. Last year we got a very generous California Arts Council grant, and that's what enabled us to bring in the new personnel. So, but that all requires, you know what grant writing is like.
Yes.
But we're lucky to have that combination of elements that keeps us going.
And so people pay to come see a show.
Well, they don't pay for everything, as I said. Free May Day, very low-priced pub sing, it's $15, low-priced Equinox concert, and we're doing a harbor sing in October that's very low-priced because we go out on the Condor Express, and our rate for that is way below what the Condor Express charges. And then at the show in December, we have very low-priced tickets for children and teens and students, plus family discounts and group discounts. So we try to make it accessible to everybody.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, Susan, so we have about 2 minutes left. Is there anything else you'd like our audience to know about Santa Barbara Revels?
Oh, goodness, just that I really think it's unique. I mean, It's easy to throw around that term unique, but what Revels does is unique in our community and unique nationally. And I am surprised by how many times I run into people after 15 years that say, oh, we've never heard of Revels. That sounds really interesting. So I would just like people to give us a try, because I think they will find that they will join us and be joyous.
Yes, I love that. Join us and be joyous. And so they can go on the website, they can find out when all the different shows are going to be, and they can show up and be joyful.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for making that point, Cynder, because it's very important to our company and our existence.
Yes, and thank you so much for all you're doing and for being on our show to tell us about it.
Totally. Lovely to see you. Thank you.
And thank you for joining us on 805 Focus, and we'll see you next time.